What is up, guys? Jake here with the next Vainglory video, and this one's going to be a little different. We are doing just sort of a spotlight on the new hero, Alpha, and we're going to get right into some solo practice mode. Just checking out Alpha, her kit, talk about her a little bit, and then possibly show a little bit of action in the background while we continue to discuss her. Very exciting new hero. You got to give it to SEMC. I mean, literally, they're just like, we don't care. We'll try anything. Including a hero that just does not want to die, which is exactly what Alpha is here. Looking at it, they're calling her a jungler. I think that's definitely going to be her role. And she is a hunter. She wants to track you down. She wants to get on top of you, and she wants to do massive damage. First thing that's going to jump out at you is her heroic perk, unlike anything we've ever seen on the fold for sure. Instead of dying, Alpha initiates a reboot sequence upon receiving lethal damage, gaining 200 to 1750 reserve health based on level. Now, basically what this is going to look like is you'll be in the fight, everything's going along, and she falls to the ground. And there's going to be, you'll see her health bar essentially fill back up. Now, clearly, it doesn't take as much damage to take her out completely, but 1750 health reserve at level 12, that is it's pretty salty. That's pretty nice. And it does take some shots to take her out. So if you just sort of think, okay, she's dead, ignore her, move on, peel off to the next hero, that's a problem because she's going to get up and she's going to get right back in the action. So you've got to finish her off. You got to make sure she's down. And it's going to be pretty annoying. You're going to get mad because the other team's going to be beating on you while you're beating on a corpse, essentially. That is Alpha. For the next several seconds, enemy can continue to attack her and deal damage. If her reserve is not destroyed during this time, she will reboot to ample health and at the same location. The cooldown for this ability is displayed in place of Alpha's energy bar. Now that's important because Alpha does not have energy. There's no energy. Her abilities, she never runs out in a fight. She can always use her abilities if the timer is up. So when you see her little bar there, if it's half full, or if it's very low, don't think that's her energy. That is her heroic perk indicator. So make sure you're watching that. If she's got it up, you have to kill the girl twice. So be ready for that. Not only that, it also lets you know if her ultimate is available. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Once the bar is full, infinite reboot is available. This bar will slide back to 0 during the reboot process, indicating the remaining time left before she is restored to health. So basically what's going to happen is it's full, it looks like a full health bar. She dies, and while her health is, she has that reserve health, the bar is going to slowly slide down to 0. Once it gets to 0, if you don't have her dead, she's going to stand up. So there you go. There's her stats. Let's talk about her abilities. Her A ability, Prime Directive. Now, this is interesting, and it is a very, very important ability for Alpha. From what I've played with her, you're going to see the really good Alpha players land this a lot. And let me tell you something, it's not easy to land. I missed a lot with it. It's a very narrow skill shot, and it's sort of it telegraphs it. So people can see it and simply walk out of it if they're paying attention. So you're going to miss with this, and it's going to be frustrating because if you miss, it's big. It really is. She scans along a path. She sort of sends out a laser. If it touches anybody, she's going to just warp to them, basically, and then spins around and does damage, and does pretty good damage as well. Now, it also removes the negative effects from core overload. Again, we'll get to that in a moment because it sort of goes backwards, but this is the ability we're talking about it first without removing the positive effects. So not only is she going to land it to initiate a fight or to close a gap if someone's trying to run away, but really she needs to land this during fights in general to remove those negative effects from core overload. And you'll see that happen. You'll see her just sort of bouncing back and forth maybe between heroes, doing damage and removing those negative effects. Dealing increased damage based on the number of stacks you move. So there's the stats on that. You see she got a pretty good crystal and a weapon ratio here. I'm interested to see. I think Alpha's going to be a blue path kind of girl, but you never know. She could go weapon power. Obviously, they've got that weapon power ratio in there on that A ability. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what people do with this. Her B ability. Now, this is one that is sort of it puts you in a conundrum because core charge, Alpha lunges forward, landing a basic attack on her target and fracturing the ground for additional crystal damage in a small area. Each time she uses the ability, she spends 10% of her current health and gains core overload for 5.5 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Now, let me tell you something. 10% from full health is nasty. It's like it's chunking you down. And the thing is, remember, you can use these abilities whenever they're up, and the reset on this one is pretty quick. You get it maxed out level 4 seconds, it's up quite often. And also the basic attacks you do reduce the cooldown by 1 second. So it's actually up more than that. So you can spam this thing in the middle of a fight, but you got to be careful because you're killing yourself. So there comes into a play a balance there, and it's interesting. It really is, because you think, I know what people are thinking, that this girl's going to walk on the fold and just one shot everybody, and it's just not reality. She is very, actually, we're going to have to back out and do this one more time. She is very in line. Let's say that she's not overpowered. She's not just gonna one shot everybody and take everyone down. She has to be played smartly to be effective. Core overload. Alpha loses 1% of her current health. So not only every time you hit this, you're losing 10%. Then if you get these stacks up to 3 times, you're losing 3% of health every second, but also increases the damage of the subsequent core charges and causes her basic attacks to heal her. So it sort of counteracts itself. But remember, if you can land that A ability, it removes all those negative effects, but also keeps the positive ones. So you're getting a little bit of life steal. Looking at it right there, heal per stack is 12. That's not bad. And you know, it's sort of, again, that catch-22. You got to be careful. You can't just spam it infinitely, or she is going to be in bad shape. But where it really, really gets crazy is right here. Her ultimate, Termination Protocol. Oh my goodness. Now, again, I know the thought. You see in these videos, people, you know, it's dropping 700, 800, 1,000 damage. That was not my experience. I didn't see those kind of numbers. I don't know how they had that on there, but this is not going to one-shot people. You know, if they're low health and you land it, okay, you're going to be in good shape. What it does is when you activate it, essentially she's activating a self-destruction. I mean, think Predator. You know, she's self-destructing here. Anything around her is going to get you know, some heavy damage on her. But she gets a little bit of movement speed when it starts, but it's actually a pretty long windup. I don't know if it shows the actual windup. No, it doesn't. It's a pretty long windup from when she starts a self-destruction to where it goes down to actually exploding. Now you see she gets a barrier as well, to level 12, 1,000 hit point barrier, so that's pretty good. Now the problem is, again, is it's very much telegraphed. The lights start flashing and stuff starts coming out of her body. You pretty much know it's going off after you've seen it for the first time, and it's not that hard to walk away from it. I mean, unless, you know, you've got a Catherine, or maybe you've got a Arden with a gauntlet where they can't get away, something like that. You see it coming, you just sort of walk away, and you can get out of it. So the range is not really huge, but be careful. If she lands it on you, it's gonna hurt. I mean, it's gonna be bad. Once she goes down, she starts her reboot sequence. She can't actually use this if she doesn't have her reboot sequence available. So remember, I talked about the quote power bar, that gray power bar. This is also an indicator to you of whether she has her ultimate available. So you'll know that once the fight breaks out. After 3 seconds, or immediately upon her barrier being breached, Alpha explodes. Oh, there you go, 3 seconds. But also, if she's low health and you kill her, it's going to explode as well. 4.5 meter range, so not huge. You can get out of it, and then it starts reactivating. So once she does this, you got to turn around and then finish her off for good. So, man, you know, again, SEMC, they'll just do anything. I mean, this proves it. Going into this crazy hero with a kit unlike anything we've seen before. So props to them. It's very interesting. There you see her on the fold. We will roll in some right now some footage, a few plays that she's made when I was playing with her, and I was playing Courtney, streamer there. We were 1v1 with her, and she just, you know, she's pretty crazy. I want to show you a few things on that, but finish off talking about her again, guys. Remember, don't get me wrong, super fun hero. It's going to be so fun to see the plays that these pros make on this chick, because obviously, like I said, I was missing the skill shot a lot. It's a narrow little line you've got to land, but I know there's people out there that are 100 times better than me. They're going to be landing that. You've seen videos already, if you've been paying attention, of her sort of pre-floating her ultimate to where she's going to self-destruct, and then coming in with that A ability, landing it, closing the gap, and exploding right on people and doing massive damage. So that is awesome. Things like that are going to happen, and it's going to be very interesting. But for the most part, she is a balanced hero. She's not overpowered. It's not something that you just go in and, you know, walk up to people and one-shot them with a self-destruct. That's not the way it's going to work. But if you learn her kit, if you learn her abilities, and practice some different builds. Again, I'm recommending probably go with a crystal power build of some sort. Then go in to, you know, get some defense, because she's not invulnerable. I mean, she's actually kind of squishy. So normal stuff there for a crystal power jungle player. But again, it is going to be a gank artist. Are you kidding me? To come out of the bushes with that A ability, land on that lane, carry, and just do massive damage. It is going to be so fun to watch people do that, and it's going to be so frustrating when you're in the lane and all of a sudden you're like, where did my health bar go? And who was that? Oh, it was Alpha coming out of nowhere. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you are looking forward to Alpha. I know there's going to be a ton of them out there. I highly recommend you pick it up. Early access, 7 days just with Ice. After that, you will be able to get it with Glory. But man, who wants to wait 7 days to play that brand new shiny hero? And look how cool she looks. Those heels, that's one of my favorite parts about her. Whoever thought about putting high heels on a robot, oh my God, I love you. Awesome job, SEMC. All right, guys, until next time, Jake doing my best to help you guys suck less.